Greetings, my young art students. My name is Brian, the art teacher, and welcome to my channel, Kids Are Artists. On this channel, I teach you how to draw. I really teach you how to draw. Even though you think you can't, you will. And since it's so close to Christmas, I have decided to show you on my very first video how to draw a Christmas tree with these sparkly ornaments. Ooh, so sparkly. So let's get to the table and let's start the first lesson, the very first lesson of my new channel, I might add. All right, let's get going. All right, and welcome to class, my young art students. Today we're going to draw that Christmas tree that I showed you about with sparkly ornaments. Now, these are going to be the things that you need to do or to have before we draw our Christmas tree. So, first of all, you're going to need paper, and I'll talk about this paper in a second because there's two different types of paper. You're going to need your, number one, you're going to need your sparkle or your glitter. You're going to need your glue. Elmer's glue is good. It's probably the best one you can use. I'm going to use color pencil, 3 different color or shades. I have a light green, a dark green, and a black. You're going to need a pencil. It doesn't make a difference what type of pencil you use. I prefer usually more of an art pencil. And then you have your eraser. But if you have a pencil with an eraser, that's good too. And then you're going to need a magic marker. Now, I would prefer not to use a Sharpie, but if that's all you have, that's good. But a Sharpie makes a real thick line, and we really don't want a thick line. But if that's all you have for today, then that's fine. And a ruler, but this is really not necessary. But maybe once you get into it more, you can use this ruler. And of course, we have to have some type of washcloth or just a rag to wipe up the mess. So now let's talk about this paper. There is 2 different types of paper I have right here. This one here is just regular copy paper from the printer. I think everybody has a little printer, or mom and dad has a printer, so you use this copy paper. And this paper is basically for your testing. And this one is cardstock. This is really thicker. You can hear the difference between this and this, making some music. So, and this is the cardstock. If you don't know what cardstock is, this is the kind of paper that you get if you ever get a birthday card or a greeting card or something like that. It's really thick paper, and eventually you want to use that to make your card, because it's fine if you have this card, this paper, because this is your test. This is your first time doing this, so this is your test paper. So once you get it right, then you can have your mom and dad get you some cardstock so that you can start making trees and hand it out to your friends or family. A big good Christmas present. Make a good Christmas present. All right, so first thing we want to do is let's start drawing a tree. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little better. All right, that's a little better, so now you guys can keep up. One thing that is very important is that you do have an extra piece of this copy paper. So what you want to do is fold this in half. This is a very important tool that you guys will need. So you just want to fold this in half like that. Make sure you can open and close it, and you want to keep this on the side, and I'll show you why we have this later. Okay, so let's get started with the tree. First of all, I'll take my pencil, and a lot of times people say, even adults say, oh, I can't draw. Everybody can draw, and I always say that in my other channel, which I have another channel. I'll tell you about that later. Everybody can draw, because if you can write, then you can draw. Now, let's draw this Christmas tree, and let me use a scrap piece of paper to show you guys what I'm saying. Now, when you look at anything that you want to draw, the first thing you are supposed to look at is the shape. Now, if you can draw a square, a circle, and a triangle, then you can draw anything. Now, let's look at this Christmas tree right here, this triangle right there. That's basically your Christmas tree. Really simple. So you say, oh, it's hard for me to draw that. So if you draw, or if you make the letter A, which you do all the time, come on camera, focus on me, thank you, then you pretty much got it beat. So this is just this, and you take this center line and you put it at the bottom right there. Let's get my eraser. You erase the center line. This is why you need a pencil, eraser, and a magic marker, because you always have your practice first. 1, 2, 3 lines right there. That's the shape of your Christmas tree. Okay, camera, focus on me. And then you have, excuse the voice, you have this little square right here. You put that down on the bottom. You make it a little longer. Like that. And you have your tree trunk. All right, so now that you have this and you understand how simple it is to draw, let's get going. So remember, if you don't have the card stock, then just practice on your regular sheet of paper. And then when you get good at it, then you can go ahead and have mommy get you some card stock or daddy get you some card stock paper. Just tell them, Mom, it's about to get serious in here. It's about to get serious. I'm about to become an artist. I need my supplies. So it's close to Christmas. All right, so what we're going to do right quick, what we're going to do is, to start out, is draw that giant capital A. Now, you can draw it as big as you want, or you can draw it as small as you want, but one thing you want to do, you want to open it up. You don't want a skinny little hungry A like that. You want a nice fat juicy A, one that's been taking his vitamins. So no skinny A's, you want a fat capital A. Okay, start out like this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, the key word is practice. Practice. You have to practice, especially when drawing. If you have a bike and you learn to ride a bike, you had to practice. You didn't get on that bike the first day and just start riding around doing wheelies and jumping over trees and mountains. You had to practice. The same thing with going out to play soccer or baseball or basketball, or even playing your video games. You had to practice how to get through that level to get to the big balls. So don't get discouraged, because so many people who are not artists tried to draw and said, oh, I can't do it, and gave up. They didn't want to do practice. Make it fun. Make it fun. So, and it doesn't have to be straight. It can be crooked. It can be crooked, and it probably will be in the beginning. That's why, if you need to, you can use a ruler. You can use a ruler, do a straight line down it, and then you can gauge where you need to put your lines. But for now, we're just going to leave it like this, because every Christmas tree is not straight up and down. So now you have your large A, and remember, this is just a capital A. If I put that there, it's a capital A. And then in the center, I want to put my tree trunk, which is just a square like that. Now I have a Christmas tree, or I have the makings of a Christmas tree. Now down here, let's put just some ground. It's going to be outside. It could be straight. It could be just a little bit of a mountain like that. This is going to be an outside Christmas tree. Somebody went outside and decorated a nice tree, turned it into a Christmas tree. Okay, so now after this, you have that. Let me slow down. Let you guys catch up. Let me just straighten up just a little bit over here. Just because, and I said I wasn't going to do that, but the artist in me comes out and wants to get stuff straight. And I understand that, because we artists, we do that type of thing. And my camera, I guess it has too much stuff to focus on. Let's push this out the way and get it to focus. There you go. It should stay this way. Now, the next step after you have that is you want to do, just like you did the large letter A, you want to put some lines in it and through it, just like this. Let's say 4 or 5. Let's say this right here, straight across and through. Let's say 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have that. Now these are going to be your layers of your Christmas tree. And I took the line through just like that. So what I want to do here is just connect these lines like this. Just coming off, making like half triangles. Like that. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that. We have this, and then we just bring it like that. Like that. And then now after this, you want to do just some jagged lines like that. Nothing fancy, just little jagged lines to make it look more tree-ish or tree or treer. Just little jagged lines all the way across. Doesn't have to be even. It can be just a lot of little ones here. Like that, so it doesn't look just like cut out or anything. And the same thing at the bottom. This is why we have our eraser and our marker. Like that. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Now that we have the tree, we're going to decorate it. So we'll put some bulbs on this now. You can do any type shape of bulb that you want, but just for us in the beginning, we're going to do round bulbs. We're going to have all our bulbs round. So the hard part would be where to place them. You don't want to place too many, and you don't want to have too little. So let's place some bulbs. But first, let's do that little garland that they wrap around the tree. That string, which is called garland, if I'm not mistaken. So what we're going to do is just do this, like this, one line. It's going to wrap around the tree. And remember, if you have your tree, you really don't want to go straight like that. You don't want to go straight lines. You just want to go around. Just imagine drawing the happy face, the mouth of the happy face. That's what this is, just like this. It's just like that little crooked happy face mouth. And it makes it look like your tree is round. Like that. So remember, you don't want to go straight across. You want to get it round like that. Okay, see? I knew you were going to do that, camera. I knew you were going to do that. So we do this one, and we're going to have like this one here. And we're going to have this one. Don't make them too skinny, because what we're going to do is we're going to put sparkle on this too. So you want to leave some room for your glue to go in and your sparkle. So you don't want to have like real skinny line like this. You want to open it up like that, like a fat piece of spaghetti. And leave some room for your bulbs though. So don't have them too close together. Making it round like that smile on the happy face. And one here and one here. That's kind of fat, but that's okay. So now that's my little string on my garland right here. Now let's put some bulbs, and they're going to be round. So I'm going to put one right here. One about right here. Right here. Right here. And they're all the same size bulbs. Right here. Now once you get this down, you have this perfectly down, then you can draw all kind of things like a candy cane. I think I'll do a candy cane, 1 or 2 candy canes on here, just because it's Christmas. I'm gonna put one right here. Let's say here in the middle, since I have nobody in the middle. Put one here, one here. Now, if you want to do one on the side, let's just say this little guy here is going to be on the side of the Christmas tree or around almost around the back. So you just do a half circle like this. So you're doing a reverse C. Here's the letter C. Here's the letter C. You're just reversing it. You're just doing it the other way around. Well, I guess if you were doing the letter B or B, yeah, that wouldn't be a D. The B. Did you unfocus on me, camera? Me and my camera, we always talk. Just do this little B. So that means it's going around. So if I did this, and the more it comes around, the more you're going to see it. The more it's in the back, the less you're going to see, like that. It's kind of like it's peeking from behind the wall or something. So, and remember, if you can write, you can draw. So let's put one here, and I'll have one hanging down here. Now usually the bulb has, if you draw a Christmas bulb like this one, which is a circle, hey, look at there, then you have the little piece on top, and you might want to draw just a big pretty Christmas bulb. And then you have the little hook like that. And that's how your Christmas bulb really look. But because they're so small, we're not going to put any hooks on there, because the hooks actually hook to the branch and you really don't see those. So, oh, I said I'm going to do a candy cane. So I want to make a fat candy cane like that. Just one to show you guys. So when you do your, I was going to say original, when you do your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your Christmas tree, your something Christmas tree. There's a word in the middle so that I'm trying to think of. Then you can add more candy canes or different shapes, bulbs. I still haven't thought of that word yet, but I'll get it. Final, that's the word I'm looking for. When you do your final Christmas tree, like you have your cardstock and you're good at putting the glue and the glitter, and you say, okay, this is going to be the perfect final Christmas tree. And then you can make it as big as you want or small as you want, and you can add all the stuff that you want on it. All right, so now what's missing? A star, a star. You have to have a star. Now, I know a lot of people have trouble drawing stars. So one thing about when I teach, I don't just show you one thing, I show you a lot of things because it takes a lot to become a great artist. So again, with a star, we're going to start out with this triangle. And remember, it's not going to be perfect the first time. If this is the first time you've drawn anything or you haven't had a good teacher, then it's going to take a minute. So we have this triangle again. So you have your triangle from the top. Make a center line right here. Now somewhere, I don't want to say in the middle, let's say just a little below the middle, let's say about right here. Put that little dot. Now your star has 2 legs and 2 arms. So at this dot, from here, you want to do this right here. See how we did that? Alexa, computer, stop. Sorry about that. That's Alexa. She likes to talk to me sometimes without me inviting her into the conversation. Now, where were we? We have this, and you can always turn your paper. Please feel free to turn your paper like this. Some schools will say, oh, tape your paper down. No, don't ever tape your paper down, because when you draw, you want to pull your pencil to you, not push it away. So whenever you draw, try to pull. If you have to turn your paper and pull it. So from here, we're going to do this there. Now, that's the bottom of our star. We have our 2 legs. Now we have to have our 2 arms. So find out where you want the shoulders to go on your star. It's about right here and not too far out. Straight across. And you want to bring them back down to this point right here. So like this. And like this. And then you have a star. Simple, easy and simple, using shapes. So let me just for the sake of doing it, take my marker and I will show you the star unpenciled. And you notice how I'm turning my paper because I'm going to pull it to me. I'm going to always pull the line to me, not push it. Pull it. And this one, I'm going to pull it. This one, pull it to me. These lines, pull it to me. Especially when drawing straight lines. Now, when you're drawing a circle, I mean, sometimes you're going to have to push it. You don't want to turn your paper every 2 seconds. So, but straight lines, you always want to pull it to you. Boom. And then you have a star. Really simple. So we're going to do that again on top of the tree. So again, I get my drawing pencil. So, and with this one, you want to bring that center because you want your tree to be inside the center of that star. You don't want the point of your tree to stop. Use a darker pencil. You don't want the point of your tree to stop like right here. And then the star is floating over the tree. So when you draw that A, you want the tip of your tree right there inside of that star, like that. So it looks like it's sitting on top. Now, again, we're going to draw that A. So if you have the point of this, let's just say we do a straight line from the center of this tree to the point of this tree up. And then we're going to draw our A. Remember, bring that A down into that triangle there, but you just made another triangle right there. You don't want your star too big, or you do want your star big, depending on your drawing, depending on the size of your tree, depending on you. So we have our giant triangle or letter A. Remember that. If you have trouble, if you can't see it, make a giant A and then put this at the bottom. So now we're going to find our point, which is, let's say, about right here. Then we're going to draw this one leg to this point, from this point of this triangle to this point in the center. Draw that. You draw the other one like that. Boom, halfway there. So now you want to figure out where you want to put those shoulders, because you have to do those arms. You don't want to go way, way, way out here. You know you don't want to do that. So you want to keep it close and draw. Don't bear down. Don't bear down on the pencil, because if you have to erase, if you're drawing really dark like this, I just tore my paper, and then it's time for you to erase, you won't be able to erase it, and then you'll be mad at yourself. I should have said that in the beginning. Draw very lightly. Don't push down. That's something that you have to learn as you draw. So here's that. So now we're going to go from this point to the arms of my star right here. And remember, the key word is what? Practice. Practice. If you can't get that star, if you're stuck on that star, if you're still stuck on this triangle, it's called practice. I wasn't born with a pencil in my hand learning how to draw, or already knew how to draw. I had to practice this. I didn't have a teacher when I was young. I did not have any art teacher to show me how to draw. I just looked, and then I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. And I taught myself to draw because I looked at everything and I looked at it as a shape, instead of something like, if I looked at this Elmer's glue bottle, I didn't say, oh, it's going to be hard to draw this. I didn't look at the cow or the name. I just looked at the basic shape. This is more of a rectangle. This is more of a square. And this is more of a triangle. Very simple. And I'll show you that as we go in the videos. Oh, wrong pencil. So now we have our star sitting on top of the tree, looking good, ready to shine. Okay, so if you have that, or if I'm ahead of you, then pause and then do it and then come back. You can rewind this as much as you want. You can watch it as much as you want to. So just working on my star. So what I want to do now is take my magic marker, and I want to draw all this and get rid of the pencil lines. So when you take this is the hard part, doing it with a magic marker, because once you put a line down, you cannot erase it, not the magic marker, unless you have some white out. But remember, this is your practice. This is your practice. If you get nervous, draw it on a scrap sheet of paper, and then just practice it on that piece of paper. Do it again and again and again and again until you're comfortable to do your final drawing. Even piano players, great piano players, they don't just start out by playing music. They practice a little bit, get their hands warmed up. When you're going to play basketball, you don't just go out there, you practice, you do those practice shots. So same thing with drawing. Practice, warm up, and then when you're ready for your final one, good to go. All right, so let's start with the star. Now I'm going to go kind of fast with this, because I'm going to go kind of fast. And remember, pull the paper to you. Pull the paper to you. Did I just say that? Yes, I did. Pull the pen to you, or the marker to you. Remember now, this is not going to be this perfect tree, because a lot of YouTube channels have this perfect drawing, and then you say to yourself, I can never draw that. I can't draw. It looks so good. Mine doesn't look like that. Well, see, I don't do things like that. I want you to be able to draw the way you draw. So I'm not going to have this perfect thing that you can't reach out and touch. My trees are going to be crooked. My circles are going to be a little off, because that's just life. All right, so let's do this garland. Remember, open it up so that you can have room for your glue. And then we will do the same with the bulbs. Now we're going to color the tree itself with magic marker. with magic marker with a colored pencil. And then we're going to use our glitter on the ornaments. And you see how this one is really thin right here and fat right there and fat right there? That's okay. That is okay because, as I say, nobody's perfect. Now we're going to draw the circles. Notice I start at the top of my circle and I pull it to me, but you're going to have to push it just a little bit going back around. And that is a lot of bulbs. You might want to put more, you might want to put less. Once you learn how to use a sparkle, you might say to yourself, whoa, I'm not going to put that many next time. Or you might say, oh, I love this. I'm going to put 1,000 different ornaments. This little guy's hanging down. And remember, this one is behind the tree like that. All right, so let's do our tree now. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect because the tree is all jaggedy and yeah, like that. So you don't have to follow those pencil lines. You want to do your own jagged lines. So like this. So notice I'm not following the pencil lines. Come down like this. Gives it more of that fluffy tree look when I don't have it so sharp. Bring this down and down. And I forgot about this one little candy cane. So I'm going to open this candy cane up, make it look a little fatter. We'll give it more room for my glue, for my, and this thing right here. Sparkle. And this is the last level. Time to fight the big boss. It's the final level. And then we have a Christmas tree. This Christmas tree is just beautiful alone without even putting sparkle and color. But hey, when we get that sparkle on there, woo. Okay, now let's do the trunk. So if that's too fat, which I want to thin mine out, I'm just going to make it a little thin like this. And I'm going to do some lines, just a couple lines like that. Make it look like wood. There you go. That's a wood trunk tree. And then just this, let's just say this is snow. Put some snow. It's outside. Remember that? It's outside. Put a little snow behind here and snow behind there. Now we have that. Now we are ready for the real deal. Let's erase first. And that's another reason you want cardstock. You want a thicker paper so when you erase, because one of my pet peeves is when you start doing something and your paper just like that. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that. That just messes up my whole day. So, two reasons you don't want to draw. You don't want to bear down on your pencil just like drawing so hard and so dark, because we're going to erase. Anytime you draw, you want to draw lightly, especially if you're going to come with a magic marker afterwards. Just as long as you can see your lines, you are good. Okay. All right, you want to erase everything that we really don't need. And brush it off. Now, we're going to color the tree. Remember, we're going to color the tree itself with color pencil. I'm just touching it. And I don't have to. I mean, see, I'm saying you don't have to. These little lines that you missed are not connecting down here. It's okay. It's all right. It's about art. So what we're going to do, we have 3 color pencils right here. We have these 3 color pencils. We have a light, a dark, and a black. The black is really not necessary, but I'm just going to use it just because I'm going to make a better artist out of you. So we want to start out with the light color pencil first. Put these two aside, and we're going to do the light color pencil. So we're going to color the tree itself. We're just going to color the tree itself. And don't worry, if you should just happen to just go right into the bulb, don't worry about it. We're not going to color the bulbs. We're going to color around them, but it's okay if you get some color on the garland or the bulbs. So just take one layer at a time. Don't try to do the whole thing. Just one layer at a time, like that. Make it look good. No rush. You don't have to go anywhere. You got all day. Move you guys out the way. Tree's looking good. Now, if you don't have, why do I keep forgetting the name of this thing? Sparkle or glitter. That's okay, because you can just use your color pencil to color the tree until you can get some glitter. Either way. Remember, just take one level at a time. You can color into the bulbs, that's fine. Because we're going to cover that with glitter. My pencil needs to be sharpened. Always have a sharp pencil. That's like rule number 1 or rule number 2 of drawing. Rule number 1 is have fun. If you're not having fun doing it, then it's not fun to do. Rule number 2 should be have a sharp pencil, unless you're using a paintbrush or magic marker. So that should probably drop down to rule number 12 or something. Always have fun when you draw, because drawing is fun. It's you're using your imagination, and once you become a better artist, then you can draw all kinds of things, the coolest cars, or maybe if you want to do your own superhero, you want to make your own comic book. And by the way, if you're new to this channel, which you are because it's a new channel, then I also make comic books. So if you want to check that out, I teach how to draw comic books, and I make comic books. And whenever you're ready, you can go check that channel out if your art becomes good enough to where you're drawing. But I'm going to show you guys how to draw people and superheroes anyway. But this is the very first video of my channel, and since it's Christmas, or Christmas is coming up, I wanted to do this so you guys can get you some good Christmas holiday drawing fun spirit stuff in. And this would be great to put on the wall or the refrigerator, or just give it to your parents or grandparents as a present. And also, it's just great practice. Now that we have this colored in with the light pencil, let's take the darker pencil. And now we're going to color underneath every layer to show that it is basically on top, and give it some shadow to give it that three-dimensional look. So what we're going to do is just going to color a jagged color just underneath each one like that. And that gives it that three-dimensional look. That one, and then under here. And if you go over the line, that's fine, because I'll show you something else that you can do. Looking good. Last one. Show your friends this, and they'll be like, man, how did you get so good at drawing? I saw you the other day and you really couldn't draw, but now you outshine everyone. Okay, so with that darker pencil, if you wanted to, you can actually just do some lines. Just do a few lines like this, little scratch lines, to give your tree even more of that three-dimensional roundness. Remember, you don't want to, it's not, you're coloring it, you're just doing lines like this. You're just line, 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 like that. Not too many, not too many. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't have any glitter, then this will be just as good. But tell your parents, it's about to get serious, Mom, Dad, it's about to get serious up in here. I'm going to become an artist. I need my art supplies. As I said, not too many, because the eye is going to be attracted to the sparkles. So, I mean, it looks good anyway to have it, but you're going to be attracted to the sparkly sparkles. So down here too. Remember, we're not shading. We're just a few lines. It looks like I'm shading because I'm just going back and forth over that same line just to make it darker instead of like that, just so. And a few here. So look at that, look at that, look at that tree. That is looking tight. A few more up in here because that's more. I don't have as many up in here. Look at that, looking good, looking good. And I look at it in my monitor. I put a few more down here. You don't want to go too crazy. You can, but you don't want to go too crazy. All right, so now that we have that, let's, you know what? And since I drew this trunk, let's get some brown. Let's get some brown. Okay, I'm looking for my color pencils and I set them down here. It's good to have like a bucket of pencils, you know, just when you start collecting. Once you become that true artist and mom and dad start buying you all this stuff, just keep it in a bucket and keep it handy. All right, so got some brown. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do, if you don't have 2 shades of brown, I'll show you how to do this. You have 2 shades of brown. You only have one. Just color it lightly. Color it as light as you can. Color it really, really light, just like that. Light, light, light. Then with that same color, we're going to make shadow under here the same way we did this. Just color this a little darker. Just kind of press down a little bit more. And you can get several different tones with that one color, with that one pencil. So I can press down like darker down in here. Like that. Yeah, so the best thing to do, remember, don't bear down right off the bat. Just do really, I mean, you're barely touching it to get that really light shade. Some pencils, when you start coloring, they're naturally dark, or they might have like a kind of oily, kind of pasty kind of feel to it. But just do it really light, and then you come back later, and then you just bear down a little bit more to make it a little darker. Let's do this. Let's go halfway down. So now you have 2 different shades of brown with that. So I can go back a 3rd time and just make it even, push down even harder. Now I have 3 shades of brown. So that's the key to color pencils. You don't need 1,000 different color pencils. Your friends say, oh, I bought a set of color pencils. This got like 800. You don't need 800 colors. You just learn how to manipulate that 1 or 2 colors. All right, so our tree is done. This is snow. This is going to be white. So now I'm getting all kind of colors. I didn't tell you needed all these extra colors. So when you do white, if you're trying to do a shade or shadow on white, just add a little bit of blue, just a little blue here. Like that. And then that gives you your effect of snow. And again, I'm doing it very lightly. I know you're saying, Brian, can we get to the sparkle, to the glitter? Yeah. But you might not have glitter, so it does help. So the same way I did this, like this, the shade, light shade, if you're using a color pencil, you could do the same thing on your bulbs. You do the whole thing, one shade. And because you might not have glitter, let me just do this one bulb like that. So whenever you do a round object, let me get this again. Let's show this. This is round, okay? There is going to be light coming from somewhere, whether it be the sun or a flashlight or something. So there's going to be light pointing at this thing or coming down. So if my sun is right up here, the light's going to be coming down and hitting this right here. So if this is the lightest area, this is going to be the darkest area. Okay, so now what I want to do is color this whole bulb like this, lightly, if I'm going to do blue. If you don't have the glitter yet, and you just want to do color pencil, and as I get into more videos, I'll show you guys how to do more stuff. So, and because this is round, the same way we did this is round, you want to do a round line going around. So if you have light, you're going to have shadow. So basically, you did light up here, you're going to do dark back here under the bottom like this. Remember this little round line here. And that gives you a round bulb. That makes your bulb look round. And it gives you some shadow. And it gives you some light. Like that. So you want to go like almost halfway, dark to light. And this is just practice. It's practice. And then with that same color, I want to do this again. I want to go even darker. Just a little bit. Not too much. You might be saying, Brian, that looks better than the glitter. But as I said, if you don't have glitter, it works just fine. But we'll get into a color pencil tutorial later, how to use color pencil. But this is just for now. If you've seen this video and you're like, oh, I want to do that, but I don't have glitter, this works for now until you get glitter. Mom, Dad, it's about to get serious up in here. I need my art supplies. I need my glitter. Now, here comes the part we've all been waiting for. Let's start out with the star. Now we've got the glitter. Let's figure out. Now you might not have all these glitters. These came from Amazon, Mom and Dad. These came from Amazon, and I'll leave a link to this. I think it wasn't much. So let's do a silver star. Let's do a silver star. As I said, I bought all these colors because this is just me. It's me. It's about to get serious. So here we go. Now, when you look at these things, I want you to think of these things are like hand grenades. Okay? If you handle it wrong, it's going to blow up. It's going to blow up, and it's going to be a lot of damage. So think of it as hand grenades. And this thing is really weird because I have no idea how to open it. I made this weird looking package. All right, I figured it out. Now, as I say, I want you to consider this stuff like a grenade. This is a bomb, okay? If you handle it wrong, it's going to explode and it's going to be just a terrible mess. Remember that. Okay, the first thing you want to do when we start is Elmer's glue. If you have to practice again, you want to see how much comes out. You don't want a lot. You just want a little bit like that. Just a little bit. Now, if you're doing something really big, let's just say if I was going to make this green all glitter, then you can take a paintbrush and you can paint it out. But just don't forget to wash this out. So you'd have to have a cup of water or something so it won't get hard and mess up your paintbrush. So you want to see how much glue comes out in the beginning. Don't put it down there and squeeze it or you just ruin your whole picture. So you want to put a little bit out. You want to just dab a little bit like that. You see that little dab? And then just kind of like work it around with the tip of your glue bottle. Like that. Work it around. Move your paper if you have to. Don't keep squeezing the bottle. Just move it around. Like that until you have all that inside covered up. If it goes outside, then that's fine too. As I say, nobody's perfect, and I'm not going to draw perfect pictures so that you guys can think, I can't do that well. I can't. You can in time. The key word is what? That's right. Okay, so this glitter, of course, it has a top with the holes like a little salt shaker that you can shake it out. Now, underneath this top, remember, this is like a grenade. This is a grenade. You want to unscrew that carefully and then take one of your pencils and poke the top Put this out of arm's reach. If you have a younger sibling, a brother or sister or something, make them go sit down. So, or make sure they don't grab this. Okay, poke this out. Do not throw this away. This is your pin to your grenade that you must replace so your grenade won't blow up. Okay, put the top back on carefully, and then you don't want to dump it. You don't want to dump it like that. You just want to kind of shake it. Just remember, think of it as like something hot pepper or something that you have to put on your food. You want to tap it. You want to turn it over and just tap a little bit like this. Just tap it, like that. Don't pour it out because, as I say, this is like a grenade. Okay, so that's covering the star right there. Perfect. You got that. So now let's disarm this grenade. Put this down. Take this top off carefully. Don't knock that. Put that pin back in the grenade. Cover it up. Twist it on. Now you're safe. This grenade will not blow up. So you can knock it over or whatever. It's not going to throw it up in the air. It's not going to blow up. You're safe right now. Now, check your fingers. This is what the rag is for, right here. It's because a lot of people will rub their nose or rub their eye, and the last thing you want is glitter in your eye. Yeah, buddy. So, let's get all my pencils out the way. I don't need these anymore. Before you touch this, make sure you have a clean area. Get all this out the way. Put it over here. Now, remember that piece of paper I had you fold right here? This is very important. Unfold this and put this down here, right here. Now, what you're going to do with this is you're going to put that excess glue on top of the paper. I know my camera's not doing right. Just want to kind of like tap it just a little bit and get that excess glue or excess sparkle right here, and then close that up. Close that up. Now, before we touch this, here's your result of your shiny star. Ooh, look at that. Now, put this to the side for a second, and we're going to go back to our grenade. Another dangerous mission. Take this top all the way off. Put this down. I'm going to keep it in camera. So we have this here. We're not throwing this away because this is money. You see how this all fell back in the center of this? Now we're going to pick this up and carefully put it back in here. So you want to tap it a little bit, and then it'll run right back in there. Be careful, you don't want to shake this or knock this down. And then we have our glitter back. Put the pin back on the grenade. Boom, we're safe. So this is what this is for. Remember, you want to keep this close by. So here we are with this. Now you're going to have a little bit of glitter on the side, but later we'll just blow that off. So now we have a sparkly tree. Where's my light? Ooh, look at the sparkle. Look at the sparkle. So, all right, now let's do the garland. Let's do this. So we want to do that, whatever color, but I'm going to do yellow. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take my yellow out. Take that. I'm going to put my silver back because we're not using that anymore. Now you can do a whole picture using this stuff, but you just have to in steps. It has to go in steps or you'll mess up. So now on this edge, this edge was kind of weak here, but that's okay. This is practice. I don't know if you're going to see it, how I missed this little edge right there, but that's okay. As I say, it's practice. It's practice. Nothing's perfect. So when I get our glue, again, remember, don't turn it over and squeeze it. Just put a little bit down and then kind of drag it. And if you get some that comes outside the line, that's fine too. Squeeze a little bit and then pull it. Squeeze a little and pull it. Like that. See, so I'm tapping it to make some of it come out, or just to make it follow the cap. Pulling the glue, pulling the glue. All right, pulling the glue, pulling the glue. So that's all of my garland string. You see a close up of how much I have and how much I don't have. I don't think it's going to show up in the camera. You can kind of see. It shouldn't run, so I'm not worried about it running down. Now, again, here's the grenade. This is the dangerous part right here. Top off. Take a pencil. Pull out, push out the pin. Keep that safe. Keep that right by you. Keep that right by you. If you have, as I say, younger siblings or cats, crazy cats that like to climb up on the table, you don't want your cat to lick this stuff. Come on out now. Keep that close. Put the top on. Don't turn it over like putting sugar in your cereal bowl. Think about this as a pepper on your food that you don't want, and your parents say, oh, you have to eat this pepper. You just want to lightly tap it. A little more right there. See, I'm not covering the whole picture. So you don't want to dump it on the whole picture because I don't want the yellow into my silver. So I'm just tapping it over the part that I want to be covered. Just get a little bit more, and then this final string right here. Give it some good coverage. Right there, and then I'll let it sit for a minute. Now let's de-arm the grenade. So I'm tapping this to get some more the glitter that's on top back in the glitter package. So again, put that down, put your pin back in the grenade, and then close it up, and it's safe. Why do we do that? When you say, well, Brian, we're just going to shake it back in there, but if for some reason your arm should bump into it while you're moving stuff around and this comes all out, oh, buddy, big trouble, big trouble. So tap my paper, and that shakes all the glitter around a little bit. Take your folded piece of paper, and when we dump this, we don't want to dump it this way so that the yellow gets on the star. I mean, it's okay to have a little bit of yellow. So what we're going to do is turn the paper sideways. So every time you have a different color, you want to dump the paper or turn the paper away from the color that you used last. It's not going to be easy when you get different color bulbs, but for the time being, so let's just say, now this one, I said sideways, let's just go down. Let's just go down like this. Tap the paper, shake all that excess off, and then you have a camera that won't focus. All right, camera, focus. There you go. So now that you have your yellow and your green. Now I could have used like a deeper yellow or maybe an orange, and it looks like it didn't take right here and here. So if you're really upset about that, what you can do is just before you get rid of this glitter here, it's dangerous though, is just take your glue, squeeze it until it comes out of the top a little bit, and then just touch it down on those spots that you missed. Like that. Then you can come back with the little bit of glitter that you have on your paper. Be careful not to spill it. And then you just shake it a little bit. Or if that's too hard, you can go back to the grenade and then do it that way. But I don't know. Let's do this. Let's push this far to the side so that I'll accidentally hit it. And let's arm the grenade again. And then tap it, tap, tap, tap. This is hot pepper that I don't want in my cereal, so I'm going to use as little as possible. Tap my paper, and then put this back on the folded paper like this. And I should have put the pin in the grenade, but I'm being cautious. So right now, let's put the pin back in the grenade. And while we have the grenade open, Let's take this, all this extra yellow glitter, carefully folding that paper, putting it over top, and letting it slide in. Shake it a little bit, and letting it slide in, and put the pen back on the grenade. So every now and then, check your hands because you don't want to wipe your face. Now, we have our yellow. All right, now let's get some different colors. Let's get some blue. Let's do blue so it stand out. Green and yellow are too close together. So let's just say this is going to be blue. Remember, you don't want to put a lot. So let's say this one. And this one. We'll do like 4 blues. And this one. Now what you can do also is if you, once you just take your color pencils and say, okay, this one's going to be blue, and just put like a small X or something. And this one's going to be yellow, and you take a yellow color pencil or green, and you just check it. That way you'll know where your colors are going to be placed. So I said blue, so let's pull out the blue grenade. Don't roll down on me. And then carefully take the top off, take the pen out, keep that close, don't throw it to the side, and then put the cap on this, and then I'm gonna shake that hot pepper in our cereal. Like that. So every now and then you want to give the second for your last blue to dry. You don't want to do it like right away, because if you're trying to keep one color, you don't want your blue in your yellow. It won't really hurt. It just gives it an extra sparkle color. But you want to give it a few seconds to dry before you pull out your next color. Okay, let's put the pen back in this grenade so we won't blow up anything. Put this down. If you can hold it in both hands, then just do that. Put that in, and then this. But sometimes there's glitter on your top. So if you take your top and you turn it upside down, there's glitter on your table. And if you rest your arm in it, then there's glitter on your arm. So it's a happy mess, but it is a mess. Again, this is why you have your rag. Every now and then, just kind of like wipe it away. Shake your rag out, wipe your hands off. You can take your rag if you see a lot of glitter, turn it inside out where it's glitter free, and then you have a new rag. Okay, tap my paper, shake my glitter around, and then get my recovery paper. So this time I'm going to turn it this way, put it like right there, and then just turn it and shake it like that. So now I have my blue. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And again, here you see that you missed a couple spaces, but that's okay. Did you say you missed a couple spaces or you missed a couple spaces? I missed a couple spaces, but that's okay. So again, you want to be careful about putting this back in. Shake it a little bit. Put that cap on that grenade, making sure you do have your top in there, and you're good to go. Now I can cover that up, but I'm not going to cover that up because, as I said, nothing's going to be perfect. Not in the beginning. All right, blue. Let's do some red. Let's get some nice red out of here. So I'm going to cover this whole circle up. I don't want it to have a missing gap like that one. Red, red. That 3, and the one on the side 4, and this little guy right here. Well, this candy cane is going to be red, so that's okay. That's all right. It's going to be red and white, different color red, or maybe I'll make it orange. And like I said, I want to get enough to cover this whole bulb. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are going to be red. Take these 2, put them back to the side. Let's check my colors. Do I have this is a bright Christmassy red right here. Again, if I have a red, now I'll use this little pinkish one for the candy cane. So again, being very careful, taking the pin out the grenade. Putting the top on and sprinkle that hot pepper in your cereal. Well, that's a bright red. That is truly a Christmas red. Remember, you don't want to dump because this comes out really quick. So you want to turn it sideways like this and then just start to tap. Let's see if you can see this better in the camera. And then just tap just a little bit. Tap, tap lightly. Right there. So that's my 4. Do I have any more? Nope. And then just tap my paper and move it. And then, remember, put that pin back in the grenade. Let's see if I can get some of this back in the holes. Take this, put that pin in that grenade so it won't blow up and hurt nobody like me, because that would be a mess. You have to clean that up. So now, again, take my glitter paper, my glitter recovery sheet, and let's just go this way. Put it in there like that. Tap it down. And then we have sparkly red bulbs. Take this, tap it till it all goes in the center. Get your grenade again, carefully. On the sheet. And then pour this back in. Got a little bit left. And put the cap back on, and we are safe. We are safe now. I've got starting to build up glitter here. So let's take my rag and let's pull the glitter off to the side, because remember, you don't want it all in your arm. You don't want to get it on your hand and then you end up rubbing your face if you sneeze or something, and rub your eyes. All right, focus. All right, so we have our red and our blue. What would be the next color? Let's try, I don't know, purple, red and green and yellow red, green, and yellow are usually Christmas colors. So red, purple, what other color do we have? There's another blue. Let's go. Orange is so close to red. Purple. Let's try purple just because I'm running out of colors. Somebody's shouting, oh, do green, but green is close to the Christmas tree. I mean, I could do a darker green, but we have green for the Christmas tree. So let's just do purple. Let's just do purple. And then we'll do the candy cane last. Or you could have done the star last. That could have been the dessert after the dinner. So glue, put a little bit on, and then spread it around. Put a little bit on like that, and then spread it around. This one. And I'm saying, you can have all kind of bulbs. You can have all kind of different shape ornaments. Once you get good at it, and then you can use your paintbrush and spread the glue all around. Make sure it gets on there perfectly. And going to the grenade one more time. One more time. Put that down. Take the pin out. Keep that close. And then sprinkle that hot pepper into your cereal. Why do I say that? Because you don't want hot pepper in your cereal. So if you had to put it in, you would sprinkle as lightly as you can. You won't just dump it in there. And purples look good. Purple looks good. That was a good choice. Purple. Now, let me show you this. Once you get good at this, how I missed part of this right here, what you can do is you can come back, and this is something you do with the candy cane. Just put a little bit right there, and then I'll put the purple on top of that. I'll let it sit for just a few seconds, then tap on my paper. to shake it around, get it all mixed up in there. And then once again, I think I'll go from this side when I dump it, because it will hit less. Paper. Now, if you have if your paper is starting to get too many sparkle colors in there, then just take it to the trash can and then hit it on the edge of your trash can to get those sparkles out. And then you'll start over with a fairly clean piece of paper. So take this up, then put the cap back on the grenade, the pin back on the grenade. Shake that out. And then right off the bat, you have this 2 color right here, and then you have these purple glistenings right there. So we'll do this, the candy cane last in a second. And let me make sure that I don't blow anything up. Tap on there, make sure it's all out. Put the pin back in the grenade. And then put it there. Now put this to the side. We're going to need that one more time for the candy cane. Now, of course, you know candy canes are striped. So if I did a candy cane, how do you do a candy cane? It's like, if you can't do it this way, do it the other way. It's like drawing the letter F, like that. You're just doing it like this. That's all. Just opening it up. So candy cane. That's got glue on it. Let's get another piece of test paper. Let's just say I would do this letter F like that. So here's this. And now you know candy cane has the stripes around it. So what we're going to do, these are the red stripes and white, or it could be a green candy cane or whatever color candy cane you want. So what we're going to do here is, I'm not going to put the glue on it. We're just going to glue this little piece right here, or the parts that are going to be colored. And because a candy cane is always something in white, we're not even going to touch the white part. We're not going to use like white glitter or anything like that. All right, coming to the home stretch. Okay, so because this candy cane is really thin, so as I said, we're going to basically just put a little glue here, a little bit here, a little here, some here, and a little right there. So we just did the dots, and it's probably hard to see in that being so small. So I'm going to use a bright pink here, grenade again. Take the top off, pull the pin out, keep that closed, don't lose that. And then sparkle. Shake that hot pepper in your cereal. Like so. Put the pin back in that grenade and make it safe. Now, tap your paper, make sure it all gets where it's gotta get to. And then your recovery paper, and it's gonna go straight down because I don't wanna get it into the purple or anything else. It's gonna go straight down, tap it, and then you have your candy cane. Before we finish, let's get rid of this last bit of sparkle. Now, I have sparkle on this table. I don't know, you might be able to see. You might be able to see the sparkly sparkles. And then put that back in. Tap that, don't go crazy. I almost knocked this over. You saw it move. And then we can breathe a sigh of relief because it's not going to blow up, we're safe. So here you have your finished product. Now it's going to take some time to do in the beginning because it's hard to control glue. So that's why I said if you have a paintbrush, you can put glue on a separate piece of paper that's glued together. You can put this glue like right here on a separate piece of paper. Take your brush, dip your brush in, get it all nice and just on the tip. Don't get the whole thing. And then just paint your glue where you want. But you have to get a smaller edge glue or smaller edge brush or more stiffer brush like this, especially for large areas. Get that glue in, and then you just paint where you need it to be painted. And I believe they have color glue so that you can also see where your glue is being painted when you start to get those professional art jobs. That way you know your glue is covering all your edges like that. All right, so let me wash this glue out of this brush real quick and I will be back. All right, I am back and we have the finished product. All right, so as I say, the key word is, that's right, it's practice. You're not going to get anything right the first time. Remember, just remember all those things that you enjoy doing now, whether it's riding your bike or playing ball or riding a skateboard. It took practice to get there. You didn't give up because you wanted to learn how to do that. Same with drawing. It takes practice. It's easier to crumple up a piece of paper and throw it away and start over again than it is to fall off a skateboard and scrape your knee up and recover from that. So this is very simple. It's just practice and time. So one other thing, if I chose to, I can write my name with this and then put the glitter on it. So I have a shiny, glittery name so everybody knows that Brian did this. You can do that too. And it's just a lot of practice with glue. You can do so much with the glue and the sparkle or the sparkles. And then you'll be kicking out some beautiful original artwork that will just amaze people when they see it. When they first open it and see it, and they're like, oh wow, let's see if I can get some light on this. Ooh, sparkly and shiny. You can't see it because my light is really bad in here, but yeah, imagine if you did that and you signed your name and then that's glittery and you put this thing up on a wall. So you can use color paper and then draw on the color paper so you have like color in the background. There's so many things you can do. And on this channel, I'm going to show you all these wonderful things you can do to bring out the artist in you. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. This is a brand new channel and I'm going to teach you guys everything to become a great artist. All right, so this is it. So I'll see you guys in the next video and you guys have a happy holidays and draw, be safe, be happy. If it's not fun to do, it's not fun doing it. All right, I'm out. See you later.